Using the X-ray template, decide to use either the standard or mini compressor. The technique is the same for both. The guide handle is prepared by attaching the guide sleeve to the handle assembly. The center punch is slid through the guide sleeve, and the assembly is placed in the incision site and positioned over the fracture at the desired point of screw entry. Impacting the center punch slightly over the desired fixation site will provide a visual landmark for K-wire insertion. The center punch is removed from the guide handle, and the K-wire guide depth gauge is slid into the guide handle assembly. Utilizing fluoroscopy to confirm proper positioning, the K-wire is then advanced across the fracture site, approximately 8 mm, or to a depth representing the desired end position of the tip of the screw. The K-wire is released from the K-wire driver. The K-wire depth gauge is read by locating the laser mark on the K-wire and closest corresponding depth measurement on the gauge. This depth will indicate the length of the screw. Round down in cases of ambiguity. Due to the great amount of compression that is possible with this device, be sure to select a screw that is small enough to fit entirely inside a compressed bone. Typically, this is at least 3 to 4 mm shorter than measured, being sure to allow for the closure of a gap. Following the depth measurement, the K-wire is advanced appropriately to anchor the tip into the bone so to avoid removing the K-wire while drilling. The leading drill guide is then fixed to the guide handle, and the leading cannulated drill bit is used to create a pilot hole to a depth consistent with the desired screw tip position. The drill bit is calibrated with laser markings, which indicate the proper drill depth, with or without the guide sleeve. Fluoroscopy should again be utilized in order to confirm proper positioning and passage of the drill bit. The leading drill bit and drill guide are removed and replaced with the trailing drill guide and the trailing cannulated drill bit, which are used to create a hole for the trailing screw, typically a minimum of 10 mm in depth. Use the laser etch mark on the drill as a guide and confirm depth with fluoroscopy. The larger trailing drill should not pass the fracture site, but may extend to the fracture site in order to allow full and easy travel of the trailing screw during compression. The previously determined length screw is attached to the placement driver. The threads of the placement driver must engage the trailing end of the leading portion of the screw, so it may be necessary to advance the trailing screw slightly by hand to expose the threads of the leading screw for driver attachment. Once attached, the screw is advanced down the K-wire until the trailing aspect of the screw is at least 2 mm below the surface of the bone. Use the laser etch mark on the driver as a guide. The placement driver is exchanged with the compression driver. The compression driver is used to advance the trailing screw until desired compression is attained. Warning: do not overcompress. The compressor generates significantly more compression than other screws. After compression has been achieved, the entire screw can be inserted further or retracted without losing compression by using the extraction driver and the compression driver simultaneously. The K-wire is removed and fixation is assessed.